The Galactic Senate Hall was quiet, except for the sounds of laughter. On a massive screen, the last human military ship was seen retreating from the battle. Smoke poured from its engines. The camera showed the ship turning away and jumping into hyperspace. The Yadari commander, Lord Rithon, stood tall and proud. And that, he said with a grin, was the final breath of the Terran threat. Applause filled the room. No more wars. No more humans, added a representative from the Keltar Republic. Their homeworld is silent. Their defenses are dust. Every leader agreed. Earth was finished. The humans had lost. But far away, beyond the Senate's vision, something moved in the darkness. On a hidden moon orbiting Jupiter, covered in ice and forgotten by most, a deep hum echoed beneath the surface. Deep below the frozen ground, ancient lights flickered on. Dusty screens lit up. Machines came back to life after 200 years. A cold female voice, calm and emotionless, echoed inside the underground base. Project Resilience. Status reactivated. Initiating Phase 1. A mechanical arm shifted. Signal was sent. And somewhere, deep in the asteroid belt, a satellite received the signal and blinked once. The war was not over. Meanwhile, back in human space, everything was quiet. No radio signals, no lights, no patrols. Earth looked dead from orbit. Alien patrol ships flew through the system without fear. The Yidari Navy moved in large groups, scanning for any signs of human life. They found nothing. "We should take Earth," one captain said. "Build new cities, claim their resources." Another replied, "Let's wait." Their silence is strange. In the Senate, reports arrive daily. No signs of life, no ships detected. Earth is silent. That silence made some nervous, but most didn't care. "The humans are broken," said Lord Rithon. "Let them hide. We've won." But one day, a Durai scout ship didn't report back. Then another disappeared. And another. No signal, no damage. No escape pods. Just gone. Confused, the Senate ordered a search. Drones were sent into human space. Most returned with nothing. But one drone came back. It was damaged. Its camera feed was shaky, but it showed something terrifying. An asteroid. Floating quietly between Mars and Jupiter. On its surface, carved deep into the rock with laser precision, were just 3 words. "We warned you." The Senate room fell silent. No signs of battle. Someone asked. None. No wreckage. No weapons. "Nothing," the officer replied. "Only this message and the missing ships." Lord Rithon frowned. "They're playing games. Weak tricks to scare us." But others weren't so sure. "The humans. They used to be creative, clever, dangerous," said an older senator from the Athari clans. A cold shiver passed through the room. "We destroyed their cities. Someone said we wiped out their fleets. How could they be back?" The answer came in a new signal. This time from Saturn's orbit. It was short, only sound. Voice comm, human, female, Phase 1 complete. The Yidari High Command panicked. "What is Phase 1? What did we miss? Is Earth hiding something?" They sent a large ship to the hidden moon near Jupiter, the last known location of Project Resilience during the Old War. It never came back. The ship vanished from all systems. No explosion, no call for help, only silence. A pattern was forming. And now, the silence belonged to them. Far beneath the ice of Jupiter's moon, the AI continued its work. Huge underground. Bays opened. Long-lost weapons built during Earth's final war were recharged. Black ships, silent, fast, invisible to most scanners, were being prepared. The AI's voice echoed again. Phase 2. Prepare the shadows. Humanity had not been defeated. It had only been waiting. And now the galaxy would pay for it. Mistake. Cliffhanger ending of Part 1. On a distant Idari world, a small child looked up at the sky. Thousands of black dots moved silently across the stars, no engine noise, no warning. Just ships, human ships. And then everything went dark. The Yadari Empire called it a technical failure. 3 battleships gone, no distress calls. No explosions, just vanished. In the capital world of Vivernax, High Command gathered in panic. "We've lost contact with scout teams in Sector 7, said Admiral Krell. "How many ships?" asked Lord Rithon. 17. Gasps filled the room. A senator whispered, "It's the humans. They're not gone." But no one dared say it louder. They were supposed to be extinct. Far away, under Jupiter's ice-covered moon, the human AI codenamed Sentinel was calculating. A glowing map of the galaxy lit up in blue. Human systems were shown as dead gray. But one by one, small, red dots appeared across Yadari territory. These weren't attacks. Not yet. They were warnings. Each dot marked a weapon, a ship, or a hidden satellite reawakened after 200 years of silence. The voice of the AI echoed in the cold steel corridors. Phase 2 activated. Begin psychological destabilization. On a small Yudari research outpost, scientists studied ancient Earth relics. One day, the lights went out. The emergency system switched on. A message appeared on every screen. "You destroyed our cities. We buried our dead. And we built monsters in silence." Then the screens went black. Moments later, the station exploded. No warning, no escape. It was the first open strike, but not the last, across the galaxy. Dari stations began reporting strange activity. A patrol found a human escape pod, floating in space. Inside was no body, only a message. "We're inside your systems. We are not the ones hiding." The pod self-destructed seconds later. On another planet, civilians looked up to see their moon covered in shadows. They thought it was a storm. It wasn't. It was a human stealth fleet testing visibility in orbit. No attack. No sound. Just fear. In the Senate, arguments turned. To panic, we have to strike Earth again. But Earth is silent. What if that's the trap? A senator from the Valari system stood. "We made one mistake," she said. "We thought humans fought to win. They didn't. They fought to survive. They're not coming to win," she added. "They're coming for revenge." Back at the hidden facility, human commanders woke from cryosleep. Each one had been handpicked during the final years of the old war. Veterans, geniuses, survivors. One of them, General Kale, opened his eyes. His first words were, "Is Earth still burning?" The eye responded, "No, but the galaxy will be." Kale stepped out of the chamber, saw the armory, the fleet, the codes. Status: enemies unaware of our numbers. Fear spreading. Phase 3, ready? Kale looked up at a large monitor showing the Yadari capital. He whispered, "Let's make them remember why they feared us." Meanwhile, on a neutral planet, a reporter aired a story about the human return. "We're receiving footage of unknown ships moving near Jadari space," she said. "Experts believe these are remnants of Earth's old fleet." Then the feed cut out. Her studio exploded seconds later. Across the galaxy, news stations went dark. Civilian panic began. Children hid in underground shelters. Schools closed. Emergency drills became daily routines. The galaxy was remembering the one thing it had tried to forget. Humans were built for war, and they never stayed down. Final scene of part 2. Inside a dark Jadari military control room, alarms blared. The commander rushed in. "Report." A young officer shook with fear. "It's Earth, sir. We just picked up a signal." Weak, but real. What kind of signal? The officer turned. A voice transmission. "Play it." The room fell silent. Then the message came through. This time, "We finish it." The Yidari Empire had ruled for centuries. They crushed rebellions. They silenced planets. But now, they were afraid of ghosts. Admiral Krell stared at the star map. Thousands of red markers lit up near old human territories. These ships, they shouldn't exist, Krell whispered. They don't, said his aide. At least not on record. Far away in the shadows between stars, a fleet of black, silent human warships drifted through dead space. They had no names. Number, registration, no lights. But inside, human soldiers stood ready. Most had been in cryosleep for 200 years. Their minds were sharp, their hatred fresh. General Kale stood at the helm of the lead ship, HS Revenge. He looked out at the stars and said, "Time to knock." Meanwhile, on a peaceful Yadari colony named Zeltroon, families were enjoying a holiday. Children played. Traders sold food. Then the sky darkened. People looked up, confused. There were no clouds, no weather shift. Just darkness. Suddenly, hundreds of black dots appeared barely. Visible then, nothing. No attack, no sound. Just one thing. A signal. Every screen blinked with one human phrase. "We are above you." Then the ships vanished again faster than light. Back at the Galactic Senate, senators argued. Some screamed for peace. Others demanded war. Lord Rithon slammed his fist on the table. "Send everything. Burn them down again." A younger senator shook his head. "That's what they want." "You don't understand humans. They expect us to panic, but it was too late." A new fleet launched toward the Old Sol system. Inside the Ghost Fleet, General Kale smiled. "They're sending a full armada," his AI reported. "Perfect," he said. Pressed a button. A secret code was transmitted, one last used 200 years ago. In deep space, Project Echo activated. Thousands of old satellites and hidden weapons powered on wormholes opened. Fake Earth signals blasted into Yidari channels designed to confuse, trick, and distract. The trap was set. The Yidari fleet entered the solar system. No resistance, no sound, no ships. They moved deeper, near Mars. Still nothing. Then the stars blinked. One by one, human ships decloaked around them, massive, silent, deadly. The lead Yidari captain yelled, "Form defensive line." But it was too late. Missiles tore through space. Silent torpedoes hit Yidari engines. No explosions. Just blackouts. Ships went dark, drifting into nothing. Back on Earth. Usurth still lived. Deep underground in bunkers and forests, human cities had adapted. They had learned to hide, to grow beneath radar. A new generation had been raised in silence drained. From birth to reclaim their world. A teenage commander, Alira, watched the battle from a hidden observatory. She smiled. "We gave them peace. They gave us fire. How? We give them shadows." Dari fleet destroyed. Only one ship survived. It limped home, damaged and broken. A message played on repeat inside the ship. This was mercy. Next time, there will be none. The Senate fell silent. They now understood. The humans were not rebuilding. They had never stopped. Final scene of Part 3. In a dark room deep inside Project Resilience, a new plan was unfolding. AI Sentinel whispered. Phase 4 collapsed the Empire from within, and in dozens of Yadari cities, explosions began. From inside, the ghosts had already entered. Lord Rithon could not sleep. He hadn't slept in 5 days. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw black ships, silent, cold, human, destroying his fleets without warning, without mercy. Now, the fear was not just outside the Empire, it was inside. Explosions rocked 3 cities in one night. Not from bombs dropped by ships, but from within the buildings. Power stations. Military bases. Communication towers, gone. Dari citizens panicked. Mina began fleeing the core worlds. Some even whispered forbidden words. Maybe the humans were right. On planet Dreskar, deep in the Empire's heart. A major speech was about to begin. High Chancellor Viran stepped forward. Citizens, remain calm. We will suddenly. The screen cut. Static. Then a new face appeared. A young human woman. Dark armor, pale scars. My name is Commander Illyra, she said calmly. You don't know me, but I know all of you. Behind her, a ruined Wadari base burned. This is not revenge. This is justice. You silenced Earth. We remembered you buried us. We dug deeper. Now. She leaned forward. We are everywhere. Then the screen went black. The Adari Senate lost control. In panic, they shut down civilian networks. They banned human language. They ordered arrests. But the damage was done. Protests began. Some Yadari soldiers refused to fight. One captain told his general, I watched them destroy a battleship without firing. That's not war. That's something else. He was executed the next morning. But more voices rose up. Inside Project Resilience, deep under Europa's ice. General Kale watched the chaos unfold on a massive screen wall. We don't need to attack everything, he said. They'll tear each other apart. His AI sentinel replied, Phase 5 is ready. Kale nodded. Send in the sleepers. The sleepers, they looked Jari, spoke like Waidari. Some had lived inside the Empire for generations, but they were human-born, trained from birth. Placed in key positions, quietly, secretly. Now they received a single message, awaken. In the Empire's main capital, inside the Treasury Hall, one worker, a quiet clerk named Lyra, stood from her desk. She walked to the central server, pulled out a hidden device, plugged it in. 10 seconds later, every credit in the Adari treasury vanished. Transferred, rewritten. The Empire's wealth gone, crossed the stars. Weapons stopped working. Ships shut down mid-flight. Defense systems turned off. They weren't hacked. They were designed to fail by the humans who had built them before the war. Yes, the Empire had used human engineers before Earth's fall. They never suspected that defeat had been planned for. On Earth, Commander Illyra met with General Kale inside the old United Nations bunker. She placed a glowing cube on the table. This contains the location of the last true Judade stronghold. Kale stared at the cube, and the codes Illyra smiled. We got them from a sleeper inside their royal court. Kale stood. Then it's time for Phase 6, final scene of Part 4. Back on the Udari capital world, a child looked up at the sky. Her parents pulled her inside, but not fast enough. She saw it. A shadow moved across the stars. Not a ship, a fleet. A message followed. You took our silence for weakness. Now, hear our voice. The stars turned red. That's what the Yadari called it. They said the skies bled the night the Terran retaliation fleet arrived. These weren't the old ships. These weren't even human in shape. They were dark, silent, and terrifying. Built in secret, powered by ancient cores even the Empire couldn't understand. On the edge of the Yidari system, Admiral Kor watched in horror as 14 human ships appeared from nowhere. They didn't come through jump gates. They just peered. No signals, no energy spikes, and then silence. All Empire communication went dark. Not jammed, not hacked. Just gone. Inside the main ship, the TNS Revenant, General Kale, stood before a display of the Empire's last stronghold. We take it today, he said. No more warnings. Commander Illyra nodded. The planet has a planetary shield. We'll need retaliation protocol. Kale gave a long breath. It's time the galaxy remembered what humans built before the collapse. What was the retaliation protocol? A weapon never used. Not a bomb, not a virus. It was memory, stored inside a living AI hidden for 200 years. When activated, it targeted fear. It found the most terrifying memories in every species, then projected them into real space. It made fear real. Launch. From the Revenant's core, a pulse. Shot outward. It was silent, invisible. But when it hit the Yadari strongholds, everything changed. Soldiers screamed and dropped their weapons. They saw Earth burning, but Earth had already been reborn. They saw their families lost, but their families were safe. The weapon didn't kill them, it broke them inside. On the ground, Daidori leadership crumbled. High Chancellor Verone ran into his bunker, clutching a gun. He shot at shadows that weren't there. Guards dragged him down, sobbing. Other generals took their own lives. Others tried to flee. None escaped. Skies above them were already dark with Terran ships, back on Earth. In a reborn city once called New York, children played under silver trees. Their laughter echoed through rebuilt towers. A voice came through the speakers. Victory is not dominance. Victory is survival. And we survived. A human elder stepped forward. We gave them a chance, he whispered. They chose war. Now they'll understand peace. Our way. In orbit. The last Empire command ship surrendered. Not with weapons dropped, but with a single message. We were wrong. General Kale read it aloud on the bridge. He nodded. They finally understand. One last target. Only one Yadari fleet remained hiding in a gas cloud on the edge of the galaxy. Commander Alira pulled up their location. We could wipe them out right now, she said. Kale paused. No, he replied. Send a drone. It's just one. Seen the final warning, a single human drone entered the gas cloud. It played one message on a loop. You started this. We finished it. Stay hidden, stay quiet, or the stars will go dark again. Ending visual for Part 5. A vast field of wreckage floats in space. Human ships pass through slowly, silently. No music, no speech. Only the sound of static. And the words glowing on every screen. Retaliation protocol completed. Let me know when you're ready for Part 6 final. The ending twist will tie everything together, you said. Part 6 ChatGPT said, here is Part 6 of your HFY sci-fi story. Title, We Thought We Could Stop the Humans. We Were Wrong, Part 6. The Galaxy remembers, written in third-person basic English with emotional weight, clarity, and a powerful conclusion. Part 6. The Galaxy remembers. It had been one standard year since the fall of the Yadari Empire. The stars were quiet, trade resumed, borders opened. But no one, not one species dared fly near Earth space. The warning still stood, and the galaxy remembered. A new galactic council in the old halls of the Galactic Senate. Silence had returned, but not peace. Species once loyal to the Empire whispered about the humans in fearful tones. They're awake now. They have ships we can't track. They turned fear into a weapon. The new council leader, a Zelari named Ketho, stood before a full chamber. His voice trembled. We must never provoke Earth again. Let them be. We thought we were gods, but we were children playing with fire. The chamber nodded. On Earth, General Kale retired. Commander Alira took his place, but they didn't celebrate. There were no parades, no speeches, only quiet rebuilding. Humans had lost billions in the collapse. Now, they didn't want war. They wanted memory. In the center of what used to be North America, a monument was built, tall, black, and wordless, until the sun hit it at dawn. Then 4 words glowed across its face. We warned you, first. A young alien historian on a neutral planet. A young Yulvan student accessed restricted files about the Terran event. His teacher watched nervously. Are you sure you want to see this? She asked. The boy nodded. I want to know why we feared them. He watched the footage, silent ships appearing from nowhere. Alien fleets breaking without a shot fired. Screams of soldiers haunted by their own memories. At the end, the screen faded to black. A voice whispered, "Humanity didn't rise again for power. It rose to remind us ... We should have listened." Final flashback 200 years ago as Earth burned in the collapse. A scientist named Dr. Lysa Thorne activated the retaliation protocol. Her voice was recorded for the future. This is not vengeance. This is not hate. This is memory. And if you come for us again, the memory will become your future. Closing scene. A Terran patrol ship floats in deep space. The crew is calm, peaceful. One of them, a young cadet, looks out at the stars and asks, "Will they ever come back?" The captain shrugs. If they do, they know what waits for them. Final visual. Across the galaxy, ancient ruins of Yatari stations. Rust in silence. On each one, spray painted in human characters, are the same 5 words. "We thought you'd understand."